Okay, so we've gone through step one and we are sure of the content that we think is suitable for our audience based on our audience analysis. And then we wrote our first draft, and we're happy with the first draft also because each body point has all the good stuff that needs to be in a persuasive speech. But now we're ready for step three, where we're going to add the rhetorical devices because now we're going for maximum impact. We're going for drama. We're going for deeper emotional connection. And we're going for our attempt at a little bit of Martin Luther King. Now we're going for what to add to make the performance outstanding. Let's have a look at what we need to do. And you're going to look for how you can include repetition. The first thing you want to do, especially wherever you want an emotional impact. So rather than saying something like, she died alone, maybe she died alone. She died without friends. She died not knowing what would happen the next day. You know, she died. But you're repeating, okay? So repetition. And as you listen to Martin Luther King's speech, you will hear all of the repetition. And with the repetition comes rhythm. That's what we're looking for, a little bit of rhythm, okay? Now, our textbook highlights two examples of rhythm. There's the anaphora, which is when the words that you're repeating are towards the earlier part of the sentence, like, we, the people, still believe blah, blah, blah. We, the people, still believe blah, blah, blah. We, the people, declare da, 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 da. Okay? So we want to get some anaphora, and we also want the epiphora, which is when the repeated part is at the end of the sentence. For example, it was a creed written into the founding facts that declared the destiny of a nation. Yes, we can. It was whispered by slaves and abolitionists as they blazed a trail towards freedom through the darkest of nights. Yes, we can. It was sung by immigrants as they struck out from distant shores and pioneers who pushed westward against an unforgiving wilderness. Yes, we can. I know. That's what I mean by rhythm and drama. We want to hear that. But we don't want you to say, it was a creed written into the founding documents that declared the destiny of a nation. Yes, we can. Really? Yes, you can? And you're sounding like that? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Now, tell me, did you feel something? And that's what we want you to do. Make us feel. First, you have to feel it. And then you tell us what to feel. Okay? So, look in the textbook. We want to see some alliteration. We want to hear some pauses. Pause when you want us to listen. Pause when you ask a question. Pause for impact. And whenever you really want us to think about something, pause. I know sometimes it's hard to not fidget, but you have to pause. We need metaphors and similes. We need analogies. We need to see the parallel structure. And parallelism means that the words or the phrases have the same structure. So, there's this Bible verse we may have heard of before. I know I heard it a lot when I was growing up. It says, to everything there is a season, a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which is planted. That's parallelism. The sentences have the same, or the phrases have the same structure. So think of parallelism wherever you can. And usually it goes with the rule of threes. You don't do 2, you don't do 4, you do 3. Okay? So when we're doing with parallelism, so rather than saying, I went to the supermarket and I bought apples, bananas, grapefruits, that's parallel. If you were to say, yesterday I went to the supermarket and I bought apples, some grapefruits, and I looked around and I only found some apples. That's not parallel. Yes, you've told us the 3 things you bought, but the structure is not the same. But if you had said apples, bananas, grapefruits, that would have been parallel. Or if you had said ripe bananas, that's adjective and the noun. Ripe bananas, luscious cherries, and delicious, I don't know, grapefruits. I hate grapefruits. But parallelism has to be maintained. And as much as you can, give us concrete language and vivid imagery. The chapter in the textbook on language gives you a lot of examples. And in addition to all of this, make sure your body language is on point. You notice that I use my hands a lot. Like I said, it's huge. When you speak, you do the same. If you're talking about 3 things, you show us the 3 fingers. If you say, I couldn't believe it, then we want to see a little bit of drama. If you say, I was so upset, you hold your head. So give us a body language that complements what you're saying. If you're saying the poor child didn't have enough blood, then we don't want to see the poor child didn't have enough blood. Because why would you be smiling if you're saying that? Okay? Okay, and a while ago I just did that. Okay, so I will say drama is a part of my life. I do this every day. But, we want to see. We want to hear. Remember, no, we're not reading where we're going to be able to slowly figure out what you're saying and, reread. Everything goes by this quickly when we're listening. So while we're listening, give us everything that we need in order to help us to follow you. And when you're happy with everything you've done, it's time for step 4.